Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another topic focused video that is very timely. As we are entering October, November, December, things are about to get busy. Maybe they already are for you. It kind of depends on what else you have going on in your life, whether you have a busy start to the school year, you work in education, you have kids in school. But for a lot of us, for most of us, as we start to approach the more traditional, fall and winter holidays, things start to get a little bit chaotic. And we can sometimes fall into these traps, myself included. Like all the things I'm going to talk about in this video are my personal experience, things that I have absolutely that's not how I want to say that. The things that I have done in the past that have caused this season to be more stressful than enjoyable. For me, I love this time of year. I love the fall weather. I love Halloween. I love Halloween movies. I love football season. I love Christmas food. I love Christmas lights, Christmas music, and there is so much that I love about these next couple of months. And if I don't make sure that I'm not falling into one of these traps, it becomes more stressful than enjoyable, and that's what I don't want to happen for myself and for you as well. So let's talk about these 5 common struggles or traps that we fall into this time of year. Number 1 is over planning or doing too much. It is so tempting to want to do all the things, right? I want to watch every Halloween movie. I want to go see every beautiful Christmas light. I want all of the things. But if we try to schedule every moment, every meal, every event, everything to its perfection, it's all just going to feel overwhelming and not enjoyable. And I feel like this was true even before I had a child, but now that I have a child, it's even more so. There are some things that are so fun and so magical with her. And then some things I'm like, am I doing this for the gram? Do you remember that phrase where it's like, I'm doing it for the gram? That's not how I want to live my life. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just want a really cute picture of my daughter and I want it to be enjoyable. But there are some things, even recently, that I have done that to her, she's she's not that excited about. I feel like I'm going on a slight tangent. I am all here for doing things that kids aren't going to remember. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to do things because my 2-year-old won't remember. That's not the point. We're going to go look at Christmas lights and she's not going to remember it, but I'm going to remember the look in her eyes when she sees those, right? I am all for doing it for us. I'm not here for doing everything. We don't need to do everything. And whether, again, I'm doing it for her or for me, for my husband, we have to remember that we can't plan it all perfectly. We can't make sure that everything is, lines up perfectly and the weather is right. Or we remember to get tickets. Y'all remember the year during Vlogmas when we went to drive through Christmas lights and we needed tickets and we didn't get them? Or that the outfit is going to, fit just right. Last year, we were all sick on Christmas. I didn't even get a picture of us in our Christmas pajamas. So this year I'm like, I may not even get them because I'm going to be pregnant. Am I going to want, I just may not even get them. So when you start the season by accepting that A, you don't need to do everything, and B, the things you are going to plan aren't going to go perfectly, just releases this little bit of stress. It releases this little bit of pressure that you have to have the perfect holiday season. With each of these traps, I'm also going to give you a tip. I'm not just going to let me tell you the 5 things you mess up without an actual tip. So for this one, and this is, I think, again, important, whether you have kids or you don't have kids, whether you celebrate all the holidays or you celebrate one of the holidays, build in some flexibility. Don't plan every single weekend, every single day, every single minute, whatever that looks like for you, whatever flexibility looks like for you, however much white space it is that you feel like you can accommodate, have some flexibility that's going to allow for weather impacts, sickness, just deciding that it's not something you want to do, or remembering that is something else that you do want to do. I feel like that's another thing that happens is things pop up or somebody invites you to something and you're like, man, I kind of wish I was going to that, right? And you already have something else planned and something that's not as important to you. Leaving some flexibility and some space for things to pop up can be really helpful as well. Number 2, which is related, but we're making it its own thing, is not prioritizing what is actually important. This was kind of already reflected in number 1, but you can't say yes to everything. Every party, every tradition, every gift exchange, every meal, again, you might want to do everything, but it is going to result typically for most of us, again, this is not in everybody. We are not an all or nothing space here. I'm not saying every single person feels this way, but I feel like a lot of us do. If we try to say yes to everything, we end up feeling overwhelmed and stressed and frustrated. So what you have to remember is you have to prioritize what is actually important. And the beauty but difficult piece of this is that is different for every single one of us. What is important to me is not necessarily going to be what's important to you, and vice versa. So step one is you've got to know what is important to you. And this may require a little bit of reflection. This may require some conversations with other people in your life, because you also want to know what's important to them, right? Your spouse, your kids, if they're old enough to contribute, your parents, right? I think at this point what is important to me and my husband, and including my parents. And so I can go forward and prioritize, but it might be worth a second before I start to plan out the quarter, just kind of checking in, right? Let's remind ourselves, is this what's important to you? And especially as the years go on, we have more kids get older, our family grows, like we've got, siblings that get +1s and all kinds of stuff. Buying gifts for everybody starts to get more expensive. So prioritizing what is important about gift exchanges, what is important about actually celebrating the holidays, what is important about remembering this season. A couple other little tips that may or may not help you as it pertains to prioritizing. One idea that I saw from another YouTuber was that what they do is they alternate years with different traditions. So there will be things like they want to do the pumpkin patch, they want to do the lights at the zoo, they have the list of things that they want to do, but fitting it in to every weekend over the course of the holiday season would mean they would have no free time, or they would be like double booked, right? So instead what they do is they alternate years, right? On even years they do this tradition, on odd years they do that tradition. I love that idea. I haven't necessarily implemented it personally yet, because truthfully, since we've only lived in Chicago 2 years, and all of those years have looked so different between babies and pregnancies and whatnot. But I'm definitely keeping that idea in my back pocket. The other tip / reminder for you is your priorities are allowed to change. Traditions are beautiful. Traditions that you say, every year we do this, are absolutely beautiful. But if there's a year that it's not as important to you, or going forward, it's not as important to you, it is okay to change your priorities, and it's okay to change your mind, right? The first year, Lila's first Christmas, the Christmas pajamas were so important to me, to the point that I actually bought them in the next size up. So I knew the following Christmas we would have Christmas pajamas, right? My husband and I could wear the same set. Lila, we had the next size up, and then we were all sick and I didn't even take the picture. And while part of me is sad I don't have that picture, it's actually not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, to the point where I'm questioning, do I even want to buy Christmas pajamas this year? Now, again, we only did that tradition for 1 year, but I know a lot of people do that tradition. And if it is something that is important to you, awesome. You set aside the budget and the time to take that picture, and I love it. But if it's something that's not important to you, but you see all these other families posting, their matching holiday pajamas on Instagram, it's like, is that something that's actually important to me? I'm gonna live my own life and prioritize it or not prioritize it. And you can change your mind at any point. All right, number 3 is underestimating your energy levels. So as we go into the fall, a lot of things start to change. If you're here in the US, I know a lot of other countries do it as well. It's just not always on the same timeline as us, or you don't do it at all. We have the time change. And for some people, it's really helpful. As a morning person, I don't actually hate the time change. Especially being pregnant, I feel like I'm very much gonna appreciate the light coming in a little bit earlier, and I'm exhausted by 5 p.m. anyway, so if it's dark, I don't care. But for some people, it getting dark that early really makes you wanna cocoon up, and it really does impact your energy levels. Maybe getting colder outside can impact your energy levels, and it makes you just a little bit more having to put on all those layers and worry about jackets and gloves and scarves and all those things can dwindle your energy. And then once again, all the prep and activities and things you're doing for the holidays can also tend to have an impact on your energy levels. So when you think about taking all the things that you normally do on a regular basis and then piling all of those things I just said on top of that, we're gonna be exhausted. And so we have to make sure that we are respecting our own energy levels. Some of it is also emotional energy. Depending on your stage of life or what else you have going on, the holiday season might be more difficult for you emotionally. It might lift you up, it might bring you down. I'm sharing this with no right or wrong answer, but something for you to just be aware of as you start to plan and live in the next couple of months. So when it comes to the tip related to this, can you spread some things out, right? Maybe you don't actually like shopping and wrapping gifts. And every year because you don't like wrapping gifts, you save it until the very last minute and you try to wrap all of the gifts on the day before you have to give them to everybody. And that drains your energy even more, that you don't get to enjoy actually like the gift giving part of it, which is like the best part about buying gifts, is actually giving it to the person, right? Seeing their reaction. Maybe you try and you spread it out. You say, okay, I'm gonna wrap one gift every other day, you know, the 2 weeks leading up to it, but I'm just making up numbers, right? Depends on how many gifts you have, how many people you have, but whatever it looks like, to not bring your energy down by doing it all at the same time. But or if you're somebody who loves wrapping gifts, right? Maybe you do plan this like beautiful gift wrapping day where you put on a Christmas movie and you sit there with all your stuff and you wrap all the gifts, and it gives you all of this excitement and energy to build up to that day. You need to be realistic. Just be realistic and honest with yourself. What brings you energy? What doesn't? Can you spread out the things that drain your energy? And again, I feel like all these tips kind of intertwine with each other, right? Going back to number 1 and giving yourself a little bit of flexibility and breathing room as well. Okay, number 4, which we kind of already talked about a little bit, but it needed its own category, is comparison planning. How many times, I'm gonna raise my hand as well, have we done something or planned something because we saw somebody else on the internet do it? The internet is a beautiful thing. I'm so glad that we're here talking to each other. But without social media, it would be so much easier to only plan things that actually filled us up, to only plan things that we actually wanted to do, not because we saw somebody else on the internet doing it. If you can, I know it's hard, but if you can, try not to plan things because you feel like you have to because somebody else did it, or because you have a family expectation to do that X, Y, and Z thing, or because it's gonna look really cute on Instagram. Plan things that actually light you up. Plan things that actually bring you joy and happiness during this time of year. I feel like I actually don't really like pumpkin patches. And my sister this year is like, we need to go to a pumpkin patch. And I'm like, you know, the zoo has pumpkins. And that's what we did last year. Literally, I have a super cute picture of Lila and the pumpkins that I love. It literally popped up on my memories today, the day that I'm filming this video. And it's so sweet. And we just literally went to the free zoo across the street to take the picture. We did not venture out to the burbs. We did not go to a pumpkin patch. We did not have apple cider donuts, and like, that's okay. And maybe some year I'll feel differently about the pumpkin patch, but to me, that's something I would be planning for somebody else, not for myself. And so I need to be okay with letting go and not planning it and not doing it. And the last trap that we fall into, while we have all these other things going on, all these other commitments, all these additional things in our lives and in our schedules that are beautiful and exciting, things that we actually want to do, pushing everything else in our lives off until January, till after the holidays. I'll get to that after the holidays. Oh, I'll focus on my water intake after the holidays. Oh, I'll get more sleep when the holidays are over. And I'm so guilty of this, especially because December for my business is so busy between the goal setting workshops and Vlogmas. It's a little chaotic around here. And there have definitely been years in the past, especially when I was editing my own videos for Vlogmas, praise for my editor for helping me with actual Vlogmas, I would sacrifice on sleep. And I'd be like, I'll sleep in January. That is not healthy, and that is not good for us. And if we push off all of these other things that we need to actually function as a human until January, it's gonna come back to bite us, right? So whether that is continuing to cook meals at home and not just ordering in takeout all of the time, or it's continuing to prioritize sleep, or it is still prioritizing some of your other goals and not just saying, I'll do it in January. I did actually a whole video on that topic, titled like a big mistake you make in Q4. That is about pushing all of your goals until January and how I don't want you to do that. So if you feel like you need help with that specific concept, go watch that video again, maybe even if you already watched it. But don't push everything in your life until January just because you have all these other things going on. You still need to be supported as a human being, emotionally and physically, throughout this busy time. All right, that is it. That is all that I have to share with you. Hopefully you found this video helpful and there was some tip in there that stuck with you. If you made it all the way to the end, comment below with an emoji that represents your favorite holiday. So whatever your favorite holiday is this, time of the year, maybe it's a pumpkin for Halloween or a turkey for Thanksgiving or a little Christmas tree for Christmas. If you celebrate one of those holidays, I would love to hear which one is your favorite. And as always, if you feel like these are the kinds of topics that I talk about in the community, because I try to make them more timely. The beauty of the community having a weekly coaching call that I can, make in the moment, I'm literally picking topics the day before, is I make them super timely. And I feel like that can be really beneficial. If you feel like you need some extra support this time of year, come join the Goals with Laken community. It's we're not slowing down just because the holidays are busy. We are still going to have all of our coaching calls, and including some additional bonuses and benefits and discounts as we go into the new year, discounts on the planner, discounts on the workshops, etc. So come join us inside the community. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Let me say that differently. Remember the look on her eye, like in her face, the look in her face. A couple other little tips that may, I don't want to say that. How do I say this? So whatever your favorite holiday is this time of season,